Morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, and I still got plenty of stuff to work on. Today, I'm practicing limb independence. I'm going to be reviewing some different patterns by going back and forth between them with some charts. Now, the way that I'm doing this is using limb independence variations from this book. It's called 50 Ways of Syncopation by Don Moyle. I highly recommend this book. It's great. Another great pair of books is this one. So it's called New Breed 1 and New Breed 2 by Gary Chester. These are also really good books for working on limb independence, as well as the resources that are on my YouTube. Speaking of, in this YouTube playlist, there are over 500 live streams of me practicing. Think of this like office hours. I'm here to practice, to try and improve stuff I'm not good at yet, and answer questions if people happen to have any questions in the different YouTube chats that I have up on my other monitor. Now, when people ask these questions, I often edit them and put them in this drumming tips playlist. It has over 20 hours of drumming Q&A, from very simple stuff to like how do I play like a rough, to more complicated stuff like whether or not it's worth it to get a doctorate in music education. So wide range of things. The first thing I talk about is the title, so how to play relaxed accent taps. But if it says and other drumming tips or and other teaching tips, that means there are more topics. But this is the first thing for the title. Now, I am not good at limb independence yet. Most of my playing has been rudimental and then concert percussion. So I need Shia LaBeouf to help motivate me to get ready to do limb independence. We're going to hide him because of copyright. Here we go, Shia. Help me. Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit. And you're not going to stop there. No. What are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Wow, I'm so motivated now. Thanks, Shia LaBeouf. I appreciate you. Now, I'm going to warm up with a pattern that I've been working on the last week and a half or so. This pattern is switching between two different limb independence patterns using the free play alongs that are on my YouTube channel's home tab. On my home tab, there's a bunch of chop exercises. There's 91 of them at the moment. There's also over 1,000 grid variations. There's so many you have to click on the header to show all of the different playlists for all the different grid variations. Keep you busy for a while. This is where I'm practicing today's limb independence. I'll show you more in a second. There's over 500 bass-related exercises. There's a bunch of scores and ensembles for like cadences. There's almost 300 sight reading exercises. These start to become public in November, I think. There's almost 500 technique exercises. Again, you have to click to show you all these different ones. But later on, I'm going to be working on my feet with this endurance and speed exercises playlist that has 70 videos in it. And then finally, the tips and lessons is where you can find over 20 hours of drumming Q&A from these live streams, as well as some scripted lessons on a very specific topic, like how to hold traditional grip, or how to speed up a rudiment, or how to develop limb independence, or whatever. But where I'm practicing today is inside of here. Every single one of these playlists has a video that is towards the top of it that shows you how to develop limb independence. Why did it do that? You're supposed to go to the playlist. Silly YouTube. I gotta click on the view playlist button. That was a user error, I think. But anyways, this video, how to develop limb independence on the kit, watch that. It's got a series of steps that you follow from absolute beginner, like can barely play the ostinato, to more complicated stuff like I'm about to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch between two different patterns. The first pattern I'm going to play is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The hi-hat's on the upbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a double time swung pattern. If you're playing it really fast, it's not like that, but the way that I'm going to play the charts is reading eighth notes on the snare drum. Anything longer will go on the bass drum. Okay? But every 4 bars, I'm going to switch from this one to 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back and forth between a double time ride feel and then that half time 16th note feel. Hello to you. That's what I'm gonna do using these different charts. So I'm gonna do, I don't know. Let's just start from 6 through 10. Sure. Just picking a random set of charts. I think last time I did this at 120. Let me just double check real quick. This little spreadsheet helps me keep track of it. Yeah, 120. Cool. All right, so 120. Every 4 bars, I'm switching between the 2 different ostinato patterns in the ride while reading short note on the snare and long notes on the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to switch on the next bar. Switch. Cool. Not too bad. The bass drum feels and sounds a little weird because I put a new slam pad on it. And it changed like the feel of it. Now, in an actual, like, context where you're performing this with other musicians, you wouldn't necessarily switch every 4 bars like I am. This is just to help with transitioning from one phrase to another limb independence pattern. So this is how you can practice doing this. But you could also do, like, every 8 bars. You can't read music but you're a drummer? That's awesome. Under the home tab of my channel, there's over 20 hours of drumming tips and lessons. Just go to the tips and lessons section on the home tab. But there's also over 2,000 play-alongs and stuff. If you happen to learn to read music, they can also help you learn to read music, especially the sight readings that come out in November. But the tips and lessons section, you don't need to be able to read music to be able to learn from it. And it's again on the home tab, tips and lessons. I forgot to switch. I played the Philly Joe way for 2 lines instead of 1. My bad. This one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. Why did it do that? But yeah, so it looks like John. Under the home tab is where I say on my channel. So if you scroll down past all of these playlongs, but inside of here, there's 20 hours of me answering questions from these streams, and that's 20 hours edited on a range of different topics about getting better as a performer or as an educator. And then there's also drumming lessons on very specific stuff, like the thing that I'm about to do, which is keep my hands nice and healthy. So this video that has the thumbnail that says pain-free drumming, it might have a different title because it's A/B testing right now. But this one shows the stretch and massage routine that I'm about to do. And then like this one helps out with like being able to recover after drumming, especially if you do it for several hours. This has some different tips that you can do, but there's a ton more inside of here for the lessons, as well as over 20 hours just in the drumming tips playlist. And none of this requires you to be able to read music. If you want to work on reading music, these playlongs can help with that because you can hear what the rhythms sound like, and it can teach you how to do that, especially all these sight reading playlongs that are coming out, I think, in November. There's like around 600 or so videos that are labeled as members first, like this one. So new playlong releases every single day. And then there's a new drumming tip like this one that releases every Friday, and then a new drumming lesson from the other playlist that releases every Monday. So like this one comes out next Friday. But every day there's a new play along. So if you want that early access, it's 99 cents. That's the cheapest that I could make it on YouTube. But you just click the join button, and then it gives you around 600 videos, early access to it. Or just wait. Every single one of the videos will come out for free. So no paywall or anything. And I don't sell like a course or an app or a book or any of that. Just want it all for free. Drumming's an expensive hobby. So just trying to create free resources. But anyways, I'm going to stretch and massage. So the first stretch I'm going to do stretches the sides of the forearms. I pull in, I push through. It feels good. In that drumming lessons playlist, it's got like a better camera angles for all these stretches and massages, as well as some extra ones that I'm not going to demonstrate today. But check it out if you're interested in it. What I'm going to do now is stretch the underside of the forearm. I'm going to hold this here for as long as I feel like I need it. 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. Every day your hands are going to feel different. So take the time that you need to keep your hands healthy so you can be drumming when you're old like me. Switch to the other hand. Do, 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 do. So it's just a gentle pullback. If you do this one on the wall, the lower you go, the deeper the stretch. What I'm going to do now is the top side of the forearm. So this was underside. This is now the top side. So I'm pulling towards me. If you do this one on the wall, like a zombie, the higher you go, the deeper the stretch. Or you could do this one on your legs if you're like sitting down like this. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Now I'm going to do a thumb to thumb, so stretching the fingers. Doing it same finger on the same finger just makes it go twice as fast. Do, 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 do. Switch. Now today I'm reviewing some patterns that I worked on previously. So I just want to do a spot check just to make sure that they still feel good while reading through it, but I'm still going to be just like switching back and forth between two different limb independence variations. So the next one that I'll do will also be a straight pattern where I'm going to actually change up what's happening with the cymbals again while I'm reading what's going on in the snare and the bass. Okay, so that was the stretch routine. Now I'm going to do a very quick massage routine. So I'm just massaging up and down the forearms, trying to loosen everything up. Stay relaxed. I do this every stream. It only takes like 4 minutes or so. It's worth it. Not only will you play better, you'll feel better while playing, and you'll minimize the chance of getting injuries. Develop this stretch and massage routine in collaboration with a hand specialist. So they have their doctorate in handing, and then some other percussionists over the years after I had injured myself more than 20 years ago now. Back in the day. Now what I'm going to do is massage the palm with the thumb, and the fingers massage the back side of the hand. So just try to loosen everything up. Ooh-wee. Make sure you get like the base of the fingers as well. Just to stay relaxed. My left hand's feeling tighter than my right. Typically the case. I had more time practicing match grip with the right hand, whereas my left hand, I did high school, college, and DCI using traditional grip, and now I exclusively play matched. So I have many years of playing that way, and now I'm trying to not do that. Base the tip of each one of the fingers. Even though I did all sorts of like concert percussion stuff like throughout that as well, still the majority of my day-to-day was traditional. My left hand has many years to catch up to my right. When I'm doing this, I'm doing a quick little massage at least twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times, depending on how my fingers are feeling. Do, 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 do. Oh, like that finger. It's feeling a little tight. Give it a little extra tension. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through 2 different patterns. So one pattern is this. So it's paradiddle, left, right, right, left. So paradiddle, left, right, right, left. Paradiddle, left, right, right, left. Accent 1, 2, 3, 4. So right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through the charts, all of it on the bass drum. So we're going to play. Etc. But every 4 bars, I'm going to switch to this pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And so the hi-hat's on the offbeat. The snare's on 2 and 4. And the ride is just playing quarter notes. Well, I'm going to read through the charts on the foot, okay? So the charts that I'm talking about are on my home tab of YouTube. If you scroll, there's thousands of free play-alongs to help you with your chops, with grid variations, with marching bass drum, drumline cadences, sight reading, your technique, whether it's your hand or your feet. For example, later on, I'm going to play these endurance and speed exercises with my feet. And then there's over 20 hours of drumming Q&A on a range of topics about how to get better at performing and how to get better at teaching from somebody who has been drumming since 1998 and teaching since 2003, and who has taught every grade kindergarten through doctoral students. So I know some things, but still have a lot to work on, like these patterns. I think last time I did it at 1:30. Let me check this real quick. The spreadsheet just helps me keep track of what's going on here. Do. Keep up the good work. Oh, yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Home tab for all the thousands of resources. Stay tuned for more. At least one new video releasing every single day. Like yesterday was 2 videos. Woo. Where's it at? Brain. Seek and destroy. Find it. There's too many patterns on here. You know what? There we go. Pattern number 48. Okay, so this one, last time we did it at 2,000 beats a minute. I don't want to show off today, so I'm going to do it at 130 instead. Okay, so there's from 40 BPM all the way up to 240 for straight charts, as well as swung charts. But what I'm about to play is straight, so I'm going to go inside of here. Every one of these limb independence playlists in the home tab links to how to develop limb independence on the drum kit, and these are steps that I followed from the very beginning of this limb independence journey up to the point where I can like read these different charts. So I highly recommend checking it out if you have not done so. Let's go with, I don't know, 26 to 30. That sounds great. Just picking one of the random 55 groups of charts. And I'm going to try this at 130. We'll see how this goes. This hi-hat pattern, you can do on the hi-hat or on here. However you want to do it is up to you. It's going to count off to 1, 2, ready, and. So this is the first ostinato pattern. And then here's the second one. I'm going to switch every 4 bars. Wish me luck. 1, 2, ready, and. Pattern 1, paradiddle, left, right, right, left. Pattern 2, hi-hat is on the upbeat with the foot, 2, 1, 2, here we go. So the slam pad that I put on the bass drum, it's only like adding like less than a centimeter gap being closed, but it feels so different. And especially the rebound off of it. I gotta get used to this. It makes it more articulate, which is great. I have the hi-hat on the beat. So sorry. It's okay if you want to unsubscribe. Ah! Yes, if I'm not like 100% focused on that transition into the second pattern, it just like goes on the beat for the hi-hat rather than on the upbeat. My bad. 1, 2, ready, and. On these top lines, you can play the ostinato just to like recenter yourself, or you can improvise, whatever you want to do. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and... If you knew Susie like I knew Susie, then you would like her too, like her too, like her too. If you knew Susie like I knew Susie, then you would like her too, like her too, like her too. Okay. Yeah, so it was like mostly technically proficient while playing through it. 130 is brisk, but it was mostly technically proficient. It was just so if I got like mentally distracted, like thinking of something else, when I would like mess up that transition and play the hi-hat with the with the ride like together instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... But you know, mistakes were made, lessons were learned. I was making progress on it. Okay. And so there's that one, and then the other one that it was is what? Quarter notes, no. Quarter notes on there, offbeats, this one. It's the number 23. And I did it at 130. That's brisk. Cool. I'm making progress on it. Oh, I didn't mark this one down. So we did this one at 120 as well. And it was mostly technically proficient / musical. So it was like feeling pretty good. I had fun with it. Good. And then the last one that the other one that I did at the beginning that I was switching to was the Philly Joe way, which is pattern number 28. So many. And if you're like, where are you getting these from? Don Moyle has a book called 50 Ways of Syncopation. And I highly recommend it. So, this book, 50 Ways of Syncopation by Don Moyle. It's good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to actually switch to a swung version. So, a swung one, what I'm going to do is ding, 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 okay? Hi-hats on 2 and 4. I'm going to read 8th note swung on the snare drum. Anything longer than 8th note is going to go on the bass drum. Speaking of, I'm adjusting the trigger on it. I'm playing with the low volume cymbals and the silent stroke heads, and so the triggers on it like allows you to do some like interesting, different stuff with it, but the trigger doesn't always respond the way I'd like it to. Anyways, so I'm ding, 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 okay? Now, that same idea of short and long, I'm going to do it with a different pattern every 4 bars. So what I'm going to play is 8th notes. Anything longer than that will be both the bass drum and the ride at the same time. So, like that, okay? So that's the melody. Now, the ostinato for that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. But the left hand is feeling a little bit left out. So what we're going to do is actually fill in with ghost notes. So if you're playing just quarter note, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to fill in triplet, 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 triplet. If I'm playing 8th notes, I'm going to go triplet, 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 triplet. Like that. And again, every 4 bars, I'm going to switch back and forth between those 2 different patterns. Now, the first pattern is number 2 from Dom's book. And I've been doing that 160, 190 fast, in other words. But my right hand can't read that fast while playing all this other fun stuff. So the last time I played this, I apparently did it at 130. So I'm going to do both of them at 130 using these charts. So we're going to go back to the home tab where there's thousands of free drumming play-alongs, drumming tips, etc., etc. Highly recommend checking this out. When people ask me questions about how to get better at drumming or teaching, I edit them and put them here. And then every week I've been adding in a new drumming lesson that's on a very specific thing, like how to improve your rudiment speed or how to hold traditional or whatever. But inside of here, I'm playing a swung pattern, and I'm going to do it at 130. So I'm going to the swung drum charts, and this goes from 100 to 159. For all of these thousands of free play-alongs, there are timestamps in the description so you can jump to whatever BPM you want when practicing this. So if you are a drum kit player who can play better than myself, you can go as fast as 240 on some of these charts. Just go to the other playlist. If you are worse, you can go as slow as 40 on these charts. But we're going to do it at 130. It's going to count off in my headphones. You won't hear it because there's a sync delay, so it's muted on your end. But here we go. Switching between two different patterns, avanti, retti, und. So again, the first pattern is etc. A 1, 2, ready, and. I can't read. Why, thank you. I appreciate the sub, and I appreciate the kind words. Again, the home tab is where you can find all these resources, and every one of the limb independence playlists has got a video showing you how to develop limb independence, as well as 62 different ways to practice. I can't read. Now, before it actually goes to the next one, I just want to show you something that's kind of neat about this. If I do say so myself as a person who wrote this chart, there's only 3 lines on here. And you're like, what are you talking about? There's only 3 melodies. So there's this one, and this one. All of the other lines are just displaced by a single 8th note. So if we were to get rid of this, and you look at this, quarter, quarter, 8th, 8th. Quarter, quarter, 8th, 8th. Rest, 8th, 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 8th. So we have the rest, 8th, 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 8th. So it's just displacing it. So it's actually shifting the melody. It's what's called permutating it over by an 8th note for every single one of these. So shift it by an 8th note. Da-da-da-da, boom, da-da-da, etc. Quarter, quarter, 8th quarter. Same thing, quarter, quarter, 8th quarter. Again, just displaced. So when you're learning this one, it feels funky to play it because you're hearing the same melody that you just played across the drums, but it's on the upbeat, which gets a little wacky. Oh, da-da-da-da. On the top line of each one of these 55 different drum charts, you can improvise. Here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and. Oops. I can't read. ironic that I can't read, and yet I have a doctorate. I just faked it. I used AI to do it for me. Oh, I can't imagine. You would learn nothing. Here we go. Sweet! Last chart. Each one of these charts, the play-alongs are in like groups of 5, so you can just practice reading. And every single chart has a completely different feel when I was writing them. Skip the random ones so you can practice sight reading. Okay, so the way I was practicing this was going, hello to you, switching every 4 bars, so basically every line here. But this is not necessarily how you'd play it if you like had a chart thrown in front of you and like, here we go, we're going to sight read this live, go. What you might end up doing is like 7 bars of one thing, so like ding, 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 etc. And then on the last bar, and then you go right back into the pattern that you're just doing. So it might just be for a fill. But by practicing it, switching every 4 bars, I'm just practicing that transition to get comfortable going back and forth between this. You might switch every 8 bars, every 16 bars, every phrase, however long that is, every section, however long that is, whatever. This is just a practice to get it better. But overall, it felt pretty comfortable doing it at 130. So we're going to say 130 is mostly musical, which means I could add in different timbres, different textures. I had fun with it. And this one was also 130, and it was musical, and I had fun with it. Cool. So now the next pattern that I want to review is 2 different patterns, and I think I did it at 190 last time. So one pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when reading through this, I'm doing a samba. Oh man, this feels so weird. So on the bass drum, I put a slam pad on it, and it's this little, like, covering that goes on the head, basically. It makes it more articulate, but, oh, it feels so weird. But, my feet are gonna play boom, chick, boom, boom, chick, boom, boom, chick, boom, boom. While I'm playing 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2, or technically 1, 2, and 3, 4, and for thinking of the 8th notes. Yeah, that foot feels so weird now. That's the first ostinato I'm going to play. Every 4 bars, I'm going to switch to this one. It's very similar. One, right, left, right, both, right, left, right, both, right, left, right, both, right, left, right, both. It's a biome pattern. The ride is going to stay the same. The cymbal pattern literally changes not once throughout this entire thing. The only thing that changes is the right foot. The snare drum is going to read through the charts with the foot. Last time I'm pretty sure I did it at 190, but with this new pad on it, I wonder if it's going to feel funky. Let me see. 200. Ah! But it felt meh and out of control. Okay, fine. We'll do it at 190. Not 109. I can number sometimes. My doctorate is not in numbering. Home tab. Scroll down. Limb independent section. It's a straight pattern. And I'm playing it at 190, so I'm going to straight drum charts. 160 to 240. Inside of here are 55 different charts that you can work on. I'll just go to this one, sure. And I'm going to say I want to play this at 190 using timestamps in the description. If you want to go 3 clicks faster, you can. If you want to go 50 clicks slower, you can. And if you want to go really fast, set it to 4x speed if you have YouTube Premium. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, and... One, two, wish me luck. Again, my biggest issue today is just like I can't read. Hooked on phonics did not work for me. Ready? And... One, two, here we go. Okay, it's feeling a little bit better. 1, 2, for the foot. I can't read today. Yikes. I need more coffee, I think. Flash chart. 1, 2, ready, and... So, the biggest issue there was not the coordination, it was just me not reading. But it's mostly technically proficient from a coordination standpoint. Again, it still feels a little weird with the foot. I had fun with it, though. Now, this spreadsheet, by the way, is keeping track of like how I'm doing across all these different limb independence patterns. So, inside of there, thank you for the sub, I appreciate you. Isn't there a way to just collapse all of them? Fine. Guess not. But what's happening is column A is keeping track of the average of with how all of these are doing. So for example, one of the patterns that I played was pattern number 2. And if you look on here, it's keeping track of the BPM, the quality of the playing, how I felt, etc. across all these different times that I played through this. And then column A is saying on average, the playing was mostly technically proficient. Now, the range that I've put in here for myself is needs a lot of work, which is like, oh, wow, that was terrible. You can barely play it. Or maybe you can't play it. To meh, which is like, it sort of sounds like music. To technically proficient, where you're able to play the ink on the page, and it feels comfortable. To musical, which is where you're able to like not only play the ink on the page, but also add in different timbres, textures intentionally, like dynamics, accents, playing on different parts of the instruments, etc., to make it sound more interesting. The goal is to eventually get all of these to musical, but if you go back to the streams like a year and a half ago, most of these were meh or needs a lot of work. And so over time, they have slowly gotten better to the point where they actually are all at least technically proficient or musical. These are just like placeholders right here, so they're not actually something I'm keeping track of. But if you want your own spreadsheet like this to keep track of whatever it is that you are practicing, if you go to my home tab and you scroll down to the tips and lessons section, inside of here, in this drumming tips playlist, is over 20 hours of drumming Q&A. There's over 100 videos in here on a range of different questions people have asked me across all these live streams. If you scroll down quite a bit and go to drumming tip number 74, how journaling can help drummers, this actually has a link inside of it right here in the description that allows you to click on it, and then it says, do you want to make a copy of this template? And then you can put your own content in there. So maybe you're working on a roll exercise. You can keep track of, well, what was my BPM? What was the quality of the playing? How did I feel while doing that? Or maybe your own limb independence variations, whatever. And actually, if you look at column A here, you see the meh needs a lot of work, meh needs a lot of work. So these were all worse than they were at the time that I recorded this compared to where they are now. Just progress over time. And if you're like, cool, I'm able to keep track of stuff, but like, how do I actually get better at limb independence? So inside the limb independence section, click on here. Any one of these playlists, like this 8th note timing permutations, has this one, how to develop limb independence on the kit. It's got a series of steps at the beginning that I have demonstrated live on all these practice streams, where I've gone from absolutely terrible to actually being able to play the limb independence variations for some fairly complex stuff. Like 2 days ago, did the 3/4 straight over swung. Or another 3/4 straight over swung. This is quarter notes. While going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. When I started that one, I couldn't even play the ostinato. It took me like 2 months to actually be able to read through these charts. So follow the steps that are in here, and that'll help you with that. And if you're like, cool, now that I know the steps, how do I actually practice it? I actually point to some books that I've used on these streams. But this one is a stream where I did 62 different limb independence variations with one chart in one sitting. It took me over 3 hours live to do that, and this is the edited version. Some of them sound great, and some of them are like, Jared, keep practicing. And I'm like, yes, I know. Speaking of, I have never worked up double bass until starting this year, so I'm making an effort this year to really focus on that because I think it'd just be fun. Again, as a rudimental drummer, my hands are great. I can hit drum fast, but when it comes to my feet are like, I don't know what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm going into the technique section, and I'm going to play these endurance and speed exercises with my feet. So when I started this like 3 weeks ago, I was doing a chug variation with hertas. Hertas are right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, with that specific rhythm. You can play them slow or fast. But the exercise that I'm going to play uses hertas. This one. And I'm going to do it with my feet. A couple weeks ago, I started at 60. Today, I'm going to start at 70. And we'll go until my legs fall off. I'm not using my hands at all while working on this one because right now I'm trying to work on my feet. Uh-oh. It was muted, sorry. I mean, it's always muted on your end, but anyways. 1 and 2 and ready and go and. That was heel down. Now I'm going to do it with heel up, okay? 1, which I am not good at yet. So interesting. That's hilarious. So, the bass drums have called a slam pad. No, a flam pad. FALAM flam pad on it. By Remo. What I had previously on it was a single one, so it's just a single circle, and it was set up for a single bass kick pedal. And now that I have a double, it made it so that the left was hitting on the flam pad, while the right was hitting on the head. And it made it so that it had like a different type of rebound, a different type of response with like the trigger, etc. And so it was funky. But now that I've like been playing on the right without that for, I don't know, however long I've had this, I all of a sudden have a completely different response on the right kick, where it's like getting these extra random little double strokes in there. So now I'm going to have to relearn how to use the right kick, basically. Nice. I like how much more articulate it is on the right foot, but it's a completely different response. And apparently my right is like resting on it just enough that it's like giving some doubles in there. So yay, more things to practice. Here we go. Heel down now. I'm going to keep switching between the two different techniques. And 2. And 2, and da 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 da. Now heel up. This is one that's really wonky. 1 for me. Okay, even though 2 days ago I could play this like 10, 15 clicks faster than I am right now, I need to slow this back down again because the response off of the pedal sounds funky. It feels funky, and it's giving me a really bad rhythmic control, so I need to go back to where I started a couple weeks ago. Let's try this again. Heel down. So I can play it better. Okay, heel up. 2. 1 and 2. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, so the right foot, what it's doing is it's resting, and it's causing enough rebound off of it that it's like creating that little buzz roll or a crush stroke like that. Stop it. Get some help. So depending on where my like body is, like weight wise, is making it so that it's harder for me to like sit without putting like weight on my feet, which is causing that double stroke. The problem is I have like minor scoliosis, so like my back is like a little bit wonky, to say the least. So I'm like trying to think like how I can like reposition myself to like make it so that I don't have to like lean into the pedal, so I don't accidentally get that kind of stuff. Make sure to see real quick. I'm looking at the oh no, you can't see it, but the little drum module. Trying to figure out if I can adjust it, like the sensitivity of it, but I haven't adjusted this in forever. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yeah, I need to mess with this more to figure it out. Like, cause it's like super sensitive, and it was because it was like playing on the mesh head rather than on the flam pad. Trigger sensitivity. Dang it, it's already at the lowest sensitivity for it. Now that I'm raising it, it's gonna give me like a bajillion different hits on it. That's funny. Well, okay, I'll need to mess with that, I think, to figure it out. Let's try it again with the play along. I'm gonna focus on heel up for now, which is the one that I've practiced the least. Try and so I moved it like off center to try and help. Seems to help a little bit. Now my left it isn't picking up all the sounds. Okay, well let's try it here. See if this feels a little bit better. 1 and 2, so I just move the trigger. Now I actually can't hear my feet. Nice. That's cool. Isn't this exciting? So this is the trigger that I'm using. And it makes it so that with these mesh heads, you can like turn it into an acoustic electric hybrid. But like, depending on where I'm putting it, it's either making it so that it's like super stupid responsive to the point where it's just picking up a bunch of extra randomness, or I literally am unable to hear my feet in my headphones. Turns out that's not ideal. Okay, that's a little better. Here we go. Let's try it again. Heel up. Okay, well that was better. So let's try going back up to where I was previously. I think I ended at 74. Here we go. And 2. I'll do heel down. 1 and 2 and... Heel up, and 2, and 2. Yeah, now that's not getting those false positives is so much better. Heel down. Heel up, 2, and 2. Yeah, so what's weird now is it's not getting the third note of the herta. So like the second right foot. So that was playing it as written. It's kind of like moving a little bit. Let's see if that's better. Now it's getting random accents. Nice. I need to keep messing with this off stream, I think. Figure out what's up with it. Heel down. 2. Let's try 5 more clicks. We'll see how this sounds with the adjustment on the pedal, or the trigger with the pedals. And 2, heel up. Yeah, why can't I not hear the feet? Yeah, it's like not playing half the notes. Okay, I'll need to figure this out off stream to figure out like how I can adjust this and keep moving this. Because the trigger, like I can move it around the bass drum. It's like this, except obviously the bass drum is not facing parallel to the ground. It's perpendicular to it. But if I move it to like a different part, like over here, Depending on how it's like vibrating, it may or may not pick it up better or worse. But right now it's so inconsistent that where it's either I literally can't hear my feet on half the notes, or I hear extra like crushes, buzzes, like doubles when I'm not doing that at all. So it's like too sensitive. So I need to keep adjusting that. But I don't think that's interesting to listen to on stream. But if you do want some interesting stuff to listen to, if you go to the home tab here, there's thousands, plural, of free resources to help your drumming. So if you're a rudimental drummer like I am, I'm just cosplaying on drum kit here. Chop section has 91 different exercises, chopping sprees, etc. Like some cheesy poofs. There's a bunch of sprees in here. There's 37 in there, etc. For the grid, there's over 1,000 different variations on here. What technique do I use for fast doubles? The one that I'm using is Jojo Mayer's technique. So the way that he describes it, so it's kind of like a heel toe. He's got a whole like DVD that talks about technique from a long time ago when he had like short hair. Highly recommend checking it out. I forget the name of it, but it's really good. But the stuff that I was practicing earlier was in this limb independent section. Again, every one of these playlists has, for the limb independent section, has a video that shows you how to develop it. There's a series of steps from like very beginning where you're not looking at any music, step 1, just trying to get some basic independence, into step 2 where you're starting to read some permutations using the free resources on my channel and website, eventually getting to the point where you're reading through charts, etc. And then once you get this down for like one of the patterns, then this one has 62 different ways that you can work on limb independence using these free drum charts and the free like 8th note, triplet, and 16th note exercises that are here. So you can work on that limb independence. So check out those videos in that section. If you march on bass drum, there's over 500 resources spread across here. Highly recommend checking that out. There's some drumline cadences. There's also sight reading stuff. This becomes public starting, I believe, at the end of November. So stay tuned for that. There's like around 600 videos that are scheduled to release for free. So lots of content, new play along every single day. This is where I was just practicing, was in the technique section. So inside of here in the endurance and speed exercises, there's currently 70 videos that you can work on your endurance and speed for your hands. Or like what I was just doing, you can practice this stuff with your feet. So whatever you want to do, highly recommend checking this section out. Again, you have to click on the header to show all of these. And if you're like, well, how do I get better at drumming? The Drumming Lessons has 27 videos on one specific topic for each one of the videos. And then the 20 plus hours of drumming Q&A in here for this drumming tips, it has so many different questions that people have asked over the hundreds of streams that I've done. Like whether or not it's worth it to get a doctorate in music. I have one for context. The 3 different types of flam taps and 1 exercise that you can work on, all of those. Or like what moves when you're playing with traditional grip, or how to play relaxed accent taps, or what should you do when you're in a toxic learning environment, etc. If it says and other drumming tips or and other teaching tips, that means there are more topics in there other than the very first thing that I talk about in the title. So if the title doesn't interest you and it says and other drumming tips, there might be something else that is of interest to you in that particular section. All of this is organized in my home tab of YouTube, but if that is not organized neatly enough for you, then at the top of every one of the playlongs, it takes you to jaredoleary.com/drum, which has everything organized neater than I can on YouTube into all of these different sections. Like here's the limb independent stuff, here's the marching bass, the cadences, the sight reading, the technique, and then finally here's all the scripted lessons, etc. If you enjoy this content, I just ask that you share it with somebody else. And as always, if you don't enjoy this content, I just ask that you share it with an enemy. Either way, sharing it just helps more people to find the content who will use it. But I'm going to call it here. I'm going to get ready for Yakuza Like a Dragon. I'm continuing to play through that game, having some fun with it. But I'll be back on tomorrow working on tenor technique on the drum pad for about an hour or so. So stay tuned for more. Drum kit again in 2 days. So I like to alternate pad, drum kit, pad, drum kit on each one of these streams. But I hope you have a good rest of your day. I hope you enjoy these free resources, and goodbye.